Let's have a conversation about Wells Fargo personal loans. So I want to share with you the top 5 hacks for a successful application and super fast approval.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower with a stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sir Kiwi Show. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Wells Fargo personal loans. And I want to share with you the top 5 hacks for successful application and super fast approval. But before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to share with you, I want to give you an overview of Wells Fargo personal loans. Now, one thing you need to understand, Wells Fargo has a reputation problem, and this is just because of what happened in the past, during the last crisis. But they actually provide one of the best personal loans in the industry. Can you believe that they actually can actually approve you all the way to $100,000? Yeah, you're probably saying get out of here, but that's the truth. Okay, if you look at the delta here, the range that they actually approve you goes from $3,000 to $100,000. Fantastic. And the cool thing, what we love here is that they have a soft pull. In other words, you don't have to decimate your credit score. No, you basically just apply, and if you qualify, you can decide to apply for real or just let it go. Okay, so their rate starts around 5.74% APR. Okay, and so as I said before, the range is from $3,000 to $100,000, and they have flexible terms from 12 to 84 months. So you're looking at 1 year to 7 years. Okay, so this is really good, and we love the fact that they have no fees. I'm talking about origination fee, closing fee, prepayment penalty, none of that. Okay, and the cool thing here is that they will give you a same-day credit decision, so their underwriting process is really fast. So you have a constellation of benefits when you think about this loan. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that Wells Fargo wants you to have a relationship. You got to have a relationship with them before you apply, and unless you have a high credit score. But if not, it's always important to have a relationship with them. Okay, and if you have any question, you can call 1-877-526-6332, 1-877-526-6332. And in terms of the loan decision process, really fast. As I said before, they actually can approve you on the same day or within 24 hours. So this is really good. This is one of the fastest loan decisioning processes that we have seen across big national banks. So this is fantastic. Now, let's talk about the 5 hacks that I promised you. The first one is you need to look at the checklist. You want to familiarize yourself with the loan application checklist. Okay, Wells Fargo is really particular about those things. They are one of the most thorough banks when it comes to loan decisioning process. Okay, very important. So they have a checklist, and I want you to really pay attention to the checklist and make sure that everything on that checklist you have checked it. Okay, so they actually have 4 documents. They have 4 sections, rather. 4 sections: personal contact information, employment and income information, personal loan information, and additional documents requested as necessary, depending on the loan amounts that you're asking for or depending on your state of application. Okay, so personal loan information, they want to have your social, your date of birth, your citizenship status, your marital status. So but this applies only for Wisconsin. So Wisconsin, they want to make sure that they want to know your marital status. Okay, and your email address, your primary telephone number, and your permanent address. That's for your personal contact information. About your employment and income information, they want to have an idea about your employment status, your work phone number, your employer name, your gross monthly income, okay? And if you have other sources of income, they want you to actually list them also, and your monthly mortgage or rent payment amount. Regarding your personal loan information, they want to have an idea of the loan purpose, the desired term, the loan amount, and the preferred payment due date. And the fourth section here is that they might have some additional documents in terms of, they can ask you to provide your recent pay stubs, your W-2s or tax returns, your utility bills to verify address, a copy of your driver's license or social security card rather, and information to pay off current accounts. So it really depends on the loan, but in some cases they might also talk about IRS Form 4506. I'll speak about that very shortly. They might ask for a power of attorney, okay? But overall, those are the big four that they will ask you: personal contact information, your employment and income information, your personal loan information, and number 4, additional documents that could be requested depending on the loan amount and the state you're applying from. But as I said, if you live in Wisconsin, they will ask about your marital status, so do not be offended or frustrated or surprised if they ask you. This has to do with the state banking regulations. The second hack that I want you to really pay attention to is tax filing. You want to be current on your tax filings because Wells Fargo may ask you to complete Form 4506C. Very important, okay? So what is that form? Now, that form gives Wells Fargo permission to request a copy of your tax returns from the IRS. So what I'm trying to say here indirectly here is that if you want to apply for this Wells Fargo personal loan, make sure that you have filed your tax returns in the last 2 to 3 years. Okay, because Wells Fargo will use this Form 4506C to verify the accuracy of the financial information you entered on the application. So first of all, you never want to lie on a loan application. This is a crime. Okay. Number 2, just make sure that whatever you put on the loan application form, it is in sync with what you have on your tax returns. Very important. Okay. Now you will not be charged anything for the form. Okay. Your loan rep at Wells Fargo will actually work with you to complete the form and ensure the signatures are valid. Okay, and so the 4506C lets Wells Fargo request past tax returns, W-2s, and 1099 transcripts that help them confirm your income. Okay, and if you need to submit this form, just make sure that you actually talk to the loan rep about that. And you can even download it from the internet. Okay, it's available, it's free, but the form is pretty straightforward. You just have to complete the form. You enter your name as it's shown on your tax returns. It must be the same name as it is shown on your tax returns. Very important. You enter your social. You enter your spouse's name if you filed a joint return. You enter your spouse's social if you filed a joint return. You enter your current address. If you filed with a different address, you want to enter the address on the form also. And so, well, long story short, you are basically giving Wells Fargo the authority, okay, to request transcript about your personal tax returns. So long story short, make sure that you are current on your tax filing. Okay, do not skip any year. And if you happen to be on somebody else's tax return as a dependent, make sure that you have a clear explanation about that. Okay, because everything is tracked anyway at the IRS level. Everything is tracked based on your social. So if you are listed as somebody else's dependent, the IRS will be able to see that, and they will be able to give the proper answer to Wells Fargo. One thing I want to say here is that you will be assigned a loan rep at Wells Fargo, trying to have a conversation with that person. Okay, do not ghost them. If they're asking questions, you want to answer them ASAP, and you want to give any clarification, any comments, whatever. Talk to that person. The third hack I want to talk to you about, again, we are still having a conversation about the Wells Fargo loan. The maximum loan amount here is $100,000. Okay, this is a massive loan, and I'm sharing with you the top 5 hacks that always get you approved real fast. Okay, the third hack has to do with your pay and job. So you want to be in good terms with your employer, because Wells Fargo is going to verify your job and pay. Okay, I don't want you to piss your employer or be at odds with your colleagues or the HR department in your company right now. No, if you are trying to get a loan from Wells Fargo, you bet they are going to verify your income directly from the source. You're going to verify your employment directly from the source. If you lied on your application, which you should never do anyway, they will find out anyway because they will have to call the company. Okay, so remember that it's important for your employer to be aware that, hey, listen, they might get a call from Wells Fargo. Okay, so you can probably tell the HR department or tell your boss that, hey, listen, I'm applying for a loan, and there might be a call from Wells Fargo to verify my employment. Okay, and remember that that when they call your company, they will ask for when you started, okay, your job title. They will ask for your status. In other words, are you a full-time or part-time or seasonal? Okay, they'll ask for your salary, how much you're making. Okay, and they'll ask for what they usually do is they'll ask for incentives. In other words, bonuses, whatever. Like, when was the last time you got a bonus? So they'll ask for your base salary in addition to your bonuses, if applicable. Okay, so long story short, you want to have good terms with your employer. Now, there is also some verification process for self-employed individuals. Okay, so when that's the case, Wells Fargo will ask for Form 4506T. Okay, that's transcript of tax returns, and it allows actually Wells Fargo to receive copy of your income from the IRS directly. Okay, so there are all kinds of possibilities, whether you are self-employed or whether you have a 9-to-5 job. Okay, now one thing I want to say here is that if you refuse to verify employment, this could actually cast a big doubt on you, on the veracity, on the truthfulness of the information you put on your loan application, right? Because if you have nothing to if you have nothing to hide, why refuse employment verification? So think about that. The fourth hack I want to talk to you about has to do with your FICO score. Now, based on our analysis, and we have done this for many years, Wells Fargo has actually the lowest FICO score that we have seen someone get approved for at Wells Fargo was 543. But that person had a strong relationship with Wells Fargo over many years. Okay, so based on our estimate is that if you have on average, or let's say minimum, 600 as a FICO score, you can qualify. Okay, so but 600 is just the minimum. It's a bare minimum, right? So, but the goal for you should be actually to improve on your FICO score every single day, right? I mean, the whole drill, that all the elements that constitute your FICO score. We have reviewed this on other shows. So your payment history is very important. You want to pay all your bills on time, all the time. Okay, especially if you have a Wells Fargo credit card, you want to make sure that you are current on that credit card before applying for a Wells Fargo personal loan. Okay, very important. And you also want to think about your how do I say this? The accuracy of your credit credit report, because if you have adverse items in your FICO report, you want to fix it first, right? Because that'll be really crazy to do all the hard work trying to beef up your credit score, and you have some kind of inaccurate data that's just plumbing, that's just dragging your FICO score to the bottom. Okay. Also think about lowering your credit utilization ratio. We've spoken about this before. This has to do with you not living beyond your means. Okay, you're not trying to be someone that you're not. You trying to do something that you should not do at this point in time because you don't have the resources to do that. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay, and so you also, if you want to try to beef up your FICO score, take care of whatever credit accounts that you currently have in collections. Yeah, because anytime you have an account in collections, that account is actually dragging your FICO score to the bottom. Okay, and so that's the bottom line. But one thing I want to say in general here is that you want to have a great relationship, and I'll speak about that later on. You need to have a great relationship with Wells Fargo. That's so important. Everything starts from there. I mean, a relationship is even more important than your FICO score. I mean, your FICO is important, don't get me wrong, but if you have the perfect relationship with Wells Fargo, you stand a chance to actually qualify for a personal loan regardless of your FICO score. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sturdy Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about the $100,000 Wells Fargo personal loans, and I'm just sharing with you a few hacks that you need to implement right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, if you want to actually receive super fast approval and a larger loan amount. The fifth hack is you need to beef up your relationship with Wells Fargo. I want you right now to actually pledge to invest more time, more energy, you want to be more committed to your relationship with Wells Fargo. I mean, I said this before. They are the only bank in the industry right now that we can think of that offers loan amounts that go all the way to $100,000. And keep in mind, we are speaking about unsecured loans. Okay, so you're not pledging anything. So how do you beef up your relationship with them? Well, they have lots of services. The whole thing is to open as many deposit accounts as possible. Okay, if you are even better, you can actually have direct deposit. If you have direct deposit into a Wells Fargo account, that's just fantastic. But for now, I want to talk to you about checking accounts. So they have clear access checking, prime checking, everyday checking, premier checking, and student teen banking. Pick one of those accounts and open one. Okay, and in terms of savings accounts, they have way to save savings account, platinum savings account, Wells Fargo CDs, so those are certificate of deposits, and they have kids saving. Again, here the process is analogous. You just open one, at least one. They also offer investing activities, investments. Okay, you have online trading, full service financial advisor, automated investing with guidance, and you can compare ways to invest. In other words, they were talking to you about brokerage services. Again, here you can become a client of the bank. And last but not the least, they have wealth management unit. Now, this is for those who are banking. If you are earning serious paper right now, if you are sitting on a stash of cash right now and you want to put that to work, you could probably try to talk to Wells Fargo private bank or a full service financial advisor team. Okay, but it's totally important that you actually find ways to beef up your relationship, to expand, to deepen your relationship with Wells Fargo, so that when comes time for the personal loan application, you stand a chance to actually qualify. I want to give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. And obviously, I spoke to you about how to actually boost your approval odds when it comes to the Wells Fargo personal loan, right? And one thing you need to understand here is that I always want you to run the numbers. Son, are you there with me? Are you there? I want you to run the numbers. Okay, to get a personal loan, you want to run the numbers. Make sure that the numbers are in sync with your actual budget, with your current budget. Okay, and check your credit score. We have talked about that. You want to consider your options. Okay, maybe Wells Fargo is not the loan for you, or maybe Wells Fargo is the loan, but their loan is the one for you, but they have different offers. Because remember that you can actually qualify. You have a soft pull with this loan, right? Which means that when you apply, they will actually qualify you with several options, and you can choose one. So you can consider, so you have a chance actually to consider your options, okay? And so you choose your loan type, the loan type in terms of maturity, in terms of a loan amount, in terms of interest rates, okay? So those are the three things that are different per loan type. So I said before that the terms go from 12 months to 84 months, right? The loan amounts range from $3,000 to $100,000. You might get several offers. Like you can get an offer at $5,000 for 36 months or $25,000 for 72 months, and so on and so forth. It's very important to consider your options, okay? And then what you want to do here is that you also want to pay attention to the maybe Wells Fargo is not the bank for you. You can try another bank. In other words, because you have to choose your loan type, and if they don't offer the loan type that you want, then you can go to PNC or US Bank or whatnot. You can go to BMO, okay? You can go to Bank of America, because maybe you're looking for a debt consolidation loan, a credit card, a refinancing loan, a home improvement loan, a medical loan, an emergency loan, a wedding loan, and whatnot. And Wells Fargo doesn't want to offer you that, so you have to keep your options open. Very important, okay? And you want to, but no matter what loan you choose, once you've chosen the loan, please provide the necessary information so that the underwriting team can proceed to the next level. Very important. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about Wells Fargo personal loans, the top 5 hacks for successful application and super fast approval. So I gave you an overview about this loan, okay? And first hack, your checklist, loan application checklist. Number 2, tax filing. Number 3, pay and job verification. Number 4, your FICO score. And number 5, your relationship with Wells Fargo. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.